otherwise, so I'm just gonna talk until. Oh, done. That must mean we are live. Hello, friends. All right, welcome back to Attack the Pantry. I am Jenn de la Vega. This stream is a deep dive into ingredients, cooking techniques, and recipes to help you cook for yourself during quarantine and, the rest of your adult life. Last time on the show, we spoke with Erin Catano Saez about working in the restaurant industry and cooking outdoors. It was really fun. Please check it out. Erin was my first guest of the series, and it was really fun. You can watch all the past clips here on my channel. If you click on videos, the entire archive is located at youtube.com/JENNDLV. You can make sure to subscribe there. And guess what? I'm a Twitch affiliate. That means that if you have Amazon Prime, you can gift subscriptions to your favorite creators every month. So if you have one, make sure to connect your account to Twitch and gift a sub to someone like me, maybe me. I don't know. If it's not me this month, then fine. Lots of good links below. One way to help us out is to share them so that other folks can join in on the fun here. So I am not alone in the chat. Hello, guest. Who are you? You can unmute yourself now. Oh, you can unmute yourself. Simon.
Okay, sorry.
Ready? Hi. Who are you?
It's me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
Wonderful.
Tell me, who are you? What do you do?
Okay, my name is Simon. I edit Put an Egg on It magazine, and I work as a photographer, and I make other little zines and all kinds of other interesting tiny art projects.
Yeah, and full disclosure for the chat, I also work on Put an Egg on It. I'm our editor at large, which is very fun. And I have a stack of them with me here. I spent
Amazing.
I know.
I also brought a stack.
Yeah, you have the master stack. You've got like all of the stacks of zines.
Well, I have all of them on a shelf right there, but this is some highlights.
And we are still shipping, right? Through the
Yes, we are.
quarantine and all that. The magazine is still available in our shop at eggonit.com.
A little behind, but we are getting it together.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. Well, I've been going to the post office like once a week. So, we're working through it. We're also in the middle of another issue, but that'll get out at some point.
Yeah. You're getting some appreciation on your sweater in the chat. Thank you, Robert. Nice to see you all. Hi, James. Put a MF egg on it. Yes, it's true. That's kind of our philosophy of putting eggs on things. So briefly, for the people who don't know what the magazine is, can you just give us a tiny outline of what it is we do?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a zine about it's sort of about food, but it's mostly about food as a vehicle for human connection, and so it's a way to tell stories with just food as sort of a lens, or just a focus for the stories, and it ends up being actually about a lot of things. Though there is a recipe section in the back, so if you are interested in cooking specific things, there are also recipes involved. And Jenn has been working quite a bit on the recipe section over the years.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you're familiar with Twitch, but we just got raided by Singyamato-kun. Thank you so much for bringing 12 viewers from your channel. So this thing happens on Twitch sometimes, that when another stream ends, you have an option to invite those people to a stream that is happening right now, which is ours. So thank you all for joining us. This is a food talk show. We are just getting started. I was just introducing my guest, Simon. Oh, hi, Alex. Thank you for bringing people in. So Simon and I both edit this magazine called Put an Egg on It. And, it's kind of our belief in things. But today we're going to be talking about leftovers and eggs. If you've got questions, we've got lots of egg tips. Yes, put an egg on everything. It's true. They're all like excited.
Excellent.
Excellent. I'm going to put the link to our magazine here. Just full disclosure, we both work on it. Here it is. Generally, we love eggs, but we also love talking about community and joy and eating and art. So our magazine is about a lot of those things. But for those of you who are new to the chat, we start the show by going through food photos of what people have submitted to us. So if you'd like to be featured in this section, you can tag me on Instagram or Twitter. My username is Randwiches. I'll just put that here also in the chat. Sorry, Simon, just some administrative stuff. That's me. So welcome all you new viewers. That's very exciting. I get all sweaty when we get like a raid in the Twitch channel, like, oh my goodness, more attention. But okay, so this is Simon, and we are gonna take a look at the things people submitted this week. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. And how do I do it? Okay, desktop 1, there it is. So I'm sharing my screen and oopsie, I just want to make sure I can move this freaking window. Here we go.
Your desktop is so tight.
A little low tech here. Well, it's one of those fake tidies because you know how you shove everything into a closet before people come over? That's kind of what I did.
Yeah, I have organized 1, organized 2, and organized 3 as folders on my desktop.
Yeah, the one that says sort is just everything else. Okay. So what have we got here? Donut Shoes sent in this sandwich from last week. It is a pastrami with Swiss monster bacon fat, caramelized onions, and a buffalo maple sauce.
Whoa.
I know. I know.
I'm so hungry. That's amazing.
The browning on the outside of this sandwich is like diner quality. Like that is
that's a sexy sandwich.
It's very sexy sandwich. Great job with that. I like want a grilled cheese now with pastrami.
I'm making a note for later.
Right?
Caramelized onions. And what was that? Was that a buffalo maple?
Buffalo maple sauce. So like probably like a wing sauce that had like maple in it.
I'm literally taking notes.
Yeah. It's good to take notes and arrive hungry to this show for sure. There's lots of good visuals. This is a belated photo from Danelle. We talked about it. We talked about dashi at length a while ago. And Danelle has been in the habit of sauteing shiitake mushrooms in dashi brown sugar and a little soy sauce. I know. These are all good combinations. And so this essentially reduces to like a glaze, and then you can put it over rice, you can put it in noodles, you can put it in soup. That's just a great way to concentrate flavor. Do you have any mushroom secrets, like cooking mushrooms?
I do actually. I was debating whether or not I should.
You should share, but please offer advice.
Okay, so I have this new mushroom thing that I've been doing where I just like take a cold skillet and I put the mushrooms in it and some garlic and whatever flavor I want to be doing. So it could be some herbs, or it could just be the garlic, or it could be and then a little bit of olive oil, and then I put in a liquid. So sometimes it's wine, sometimes it's water, sometimes it's dashi, and then I turn it on and let it cook until the liquid evaporates, and then it starts to brown in the oil that's in there, and that really like concentrates the flavor in a really beautiful way. And so I've been experimenting with like what spices and sort of flavors to put in that, and then put it on everything.
Yeah, I read a recent study that sort of advised the opposite of what I was taught. So I was taught to put the mushrooms dry in the pan until they started sizzling and then add our fat. But there was like a scientific study saying that actually a splash of water will bond with the water in the mushrooms and draw it out faster. And so you're right to put your liquid in the pan as you're cooking them from the start.
I started doing that because I was trying to figure out how to make a mushroomy like substitute for carnitas, and so I was just trying to figure that out. And it worked pretty well.
Oh, carnitas. Okay, storing that one for later. See, we keep getting all these ideas. Like, do I have enough time in my lifetime to make all the dishes we talk about? Not really.
I don't know. I feel like if anyone does, it's you.
We'll see. This is from Perpetual 90s Kid on Twitter. These are thumbprint cookies, their first attempt. You have a very big thumb. My thumb is very small. But it looks like some lovely jam in there. I'm kidding. I don't mean to insult your thumb if you're watching.
Your thumb is perfect. We love your thumb.
Yeah, but oh man, look at this like generous pool of jelly situation. I like that. I don't like how like some of these thumbprint cookies are just like a little Hershey's kiss, and that's like not enough for me. Like I want two.
Yeah, you
want a pool. You want like
yeah,
you want a jacuzzi of jelly.
really get in there. Yeah.
Though I don't recommend jacuzzis of jelly because they could burn you. They're very hot. I wouldn't let these cool before you. Yeah, it's true. Seven Bean Salad says, don't skimp on the filling. Sorry if I missed your chat. I can't look at both if I'm sharing my screen. So I'm looking on my phone now, and I'm sorry if I've missed your comments before, but I will check more often now. Let's see. Next, we have, these are from Robert, who is in the chat. These are Korean-ish tacos. And you were saying these aren't photogenic, really? And I disagree. I think these are gorgeous.
Those look lovely. Tell us more.
Giant piece.
Are those flour tortillas?
I think so. Oh.
They look great.
Where did you get these flour tortillas? I don't know where we can get like nice flour tortillas.
I've been making them.
You've been making them.
They're not that hard. But,
do you have the press?
Yeah.
The thingy?
I have a little one. My next goal is to get a giant one so I can make burritos.
Oh yeah. Get like a foot circumference one.
Yeah.
Oh, Vista Hermoso via Fresh Direct. Okay, that's a good tip. Thank you for that, Robert. Yeah, these tortillas look great. They don't look all cakey like the Mission tortillas. I think some of those are like too thick. Oh, guess who's in our chat? Edison. Hi, Edison. Edison, I've been loving your Instagram lately. So wonderful.
Tell him how much we love him.
Mm-hmm. Edison can hear you, so it's weird. Hello.
Edison, we love him.
Okay.
I can't see the chat. I for some reason can't do two things at once.
It's okay. I can relay comments. Next, this is a chocolate mousse from Schmass. So Schmass is one of those people that I told you about earlier in our chat who knows what they're doing and sent me a slew of great cooking photos. So I'm going to share some this chat, and then I'll share the other parts next week. But this is a nice chocolate mousse. Very good whip. Your whipped cream is not over whipped. Very smooth surface. Lovely. Do you like?
I don't know how to make mousse, so if anyone has any tips, I would love to hear them.
I think I use the recipe from Cloudy Kitchen, which is my friend Erin's blog. She has a lot of great baking stuff. But chocolate mousse, I don't think I've had chocolate mousse for a very long time. I think it was probably at a wedding 2 years ago. It was the last time I had chocolate mousse.
It feels weddingy.
Yeah, it's luxurious. It's nice. Another one from Schmass here. We got Kimbap, 2 kinds. Hell yeah. Got a bulgogi flavor on the left and walnut cream cheese on the right with lots of pickles, it looks like also.
Inspired.
I know. Schmaz, this is like so much kimbap sushi situation. This is like a lot. I love it. It reminds me of like, yeah, it reminds me of going to the restaurants and like ordering like the Love Boat, which is like a wooden boat full of like all the different sashimi and sushi at the Japanese place. Though kimbap is not as popular here in New York, not yet. I don't know. Have you seen it on the news?
Yeah, I used to work at a magazine on like 7th Avenue in like the 20s, there was a little Korean spot that pretty much just sold this, and I ate it almost every day.
Sounds so good. So good. And then
Yeah.
finally here we have tteokbokki. Is that how I say it? And I don't know. Tteokbokki is the Korean rice cakes. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud. But I
I
love
know
to
how to
eat it.
spell it. If anyone can
That's
correct me in the chat, that would be so nice. But I'm a huge fan of spicy Korean things. So this looks,
oh my God,
that
me too.
pot looks great also. I would like that pot.
Nice prezzo.
Yeah, really good prezzo. Okay.
I have a quick story about that,
Yes,
actually,
please.
if you don't mind.
Share story.
So we were in Philadelphia registering people to vote before the election, and somebody like used the address of this Korean like rice cake factory as their home address, and went in to ask them like if somebody was there that we needed to register to vote. And they were talking to us, and they were telling us what they made, and they just sort of gave us a bunch of it, and we were like, are you sure? And they were like, yeah, please take it. And so we took it home, and it was like the freshest, most lovely rice cakes I've ever had. And so we grilled some of them and just put honey on them, and they were so good.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Honey.
It was.
I wouldn't have thought honey.
I wouldn't have either, but a Korean friend suggested, aside from making this dish, which we made, she was like, save some and grill them with honey.
Yo. I've had them bacon wrapped on a yakitori before. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Super good. Okay, we had a question from the chat from Bacon Chin. What is your favorite burrito filling?
Oh my goodness.
If you're gonna embark on making your own burrito tortillas.
Question to me. What is my favorite burrito filling?
I'm weird about it because I can never finish my burritos. They're just too big for me. It's like a 3-day affair for me personally. I have just a really small appetite. But I love al pastor. I think carnitas get a little soggy. And then
I only order vegetarian burritos, which is weird.
Oh,
but I have a very, from growing up in San Francisco, I have a very specific idea of like how one should get a burrito. But making burritos like at home, I sort of make them with everything, and I actually will do a lot of like leftovers with various things in a burrito. But when I order them, I always just get rice, pinto beans, cheese, sliced avocado, cilantro, and salsa. That's it.
Yum. Yeah, I'm a fan of like the really like savory marinated chickens, like a tinga.
Oh yeah, I love a tinga.
Yeah. But I don't like my burritos to be too wet. Like I don't like them to be too wide either. I like my bite is also very small. Like I have a lot of burrito opinions apparently.
I definitely do too.
Let's see. We've got people in the chat who love chicken and chorizo. Wow. An entire rotisserie chicken, bones and all. Oh, thanks, James. Edison says, al pastor burrito is amazing. There's a fusion place that did a chipotle teriyaki and rice burrito, which you had. What a combination.
That's fucked up, but in a good way.
Yeah. Seven Bean Salad says, big fan of shrimp and burritos. I personally don't like shrimp, but yeah, sounds great. Here, Donut Stew says, Burrito Shack in Newtown, Connecticut. Not authentic, but still wicked good. Get an abomination called the Stoner, which is ground beef, pulled pork, chorizo, buffalo popcorn chicken, French fries.
Oh my God.
It's total bullshit, but so amazing. I mean, okay. I love the buffalo popcorn chicken part. Tag yourselves. I'm buffalo popcorn chicken. But the French fries is actually not unfounded. That is a San Diego burrito thing. So not weird.
And it's good.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. It's heavy, but good. Like I had a roommate who was very into San Diego burritos before.
Yeah.
I'm
married to a person who grew up there, so I'm.
So you know, yeah, you know. Okay, so here's the folder of food that I've been making this week. So I made a meatloaf last week, and I'm only one person, and I can only give my neighbors so much food. So I keep trying to find ways to repackage things so I can keep enjoying them. I get sick of stuff really easily, which is why I'm just constantly making things. So these are bulgogi meatloaf flautas.
Yeah.
They were really, really soft. I think that I would add some more breadcrumb to this meatloaf to make it a little more sturdy, but it was still nice and crisp on the outside. Yeah. I have a moral question for everyone. I was walking around the park at midnight-ish. Like, it's really quiet and nice to walk around the well-lit park in Brooklyn sometimes. I visit these swings at McCarran Park every now and then, and there was this dry, untouched, unopened Tony's Chocolonely bar on the swing.
Okay. Would
you take it? For the record,
weirdly, the thing that
I didn't.
The first,
for the record, I
okay.
didn't.
The first thing that comes to my mind is that someone left it there for their date or for some surprise that they were concocting. So I would feel bad getting in the way of that, but that just might be my weird imagination, overactive imagination.
I like that maybe it's good I didn't take it because it could have been meant for someone else. Like, I was there for 10 minutes, so I didn't see anyone.
Were you scoping out the chocolate?
I was thinking about it. I was like, this is kind of an expensive bar. Like, I've never had it also.
Yeah,
so yeah, so many people on Twitter were telling me I would take that immediately. Yeah, it feels like there is a Willy Wonka situation that I was meant to find it.
I mean, there might be a golden ticket in there for you. Maybe. You don't
know. We got Donut Shoes saying, unfortunately, I would not take the park chocolate. Bacon Chin, thank you for the cheers. There are little Twitch things that you can do to support creators, and cheers is one of them. Bits and cheers. What else? Getting a lot of egg emoji. Lovely. Edison would take it. And inspect it carefully. A lot of love for this brand. Yeah. The chocolate is so good, but I would be wary of it. Agreed. I have not had the raspberry crackle pop one, and now I am convinced I must get it. Because holy crap, that sounds great. A white chocolate popping candy. Okay, James is saying in Amsterdam, they have a shop with all the flavors and you can try them all for free.
That's cute. Let's go.
That sounds so good. And some really good information from Chicken Handbag, and they don't use slave labor in production, which, chocolate, problematic. No, that's real talk. Thank you for telling us. I didn't know that about this brand. That's very, very good to know about our ethics in chocolate. My goodness. What else have I been making? This is Chinese sausage, all of the scallions that I've grown in the window. That's been an endeavor.
I love your window scallions.
Yeah, I've been using them pretty often. I still have the original bunch of scallions that I grew from the very beginning of the pandemic. So it's still happening.
Wild. My kid was inspired by you, and now he has a window scallion.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad. It's one of the easiest plants to start growing. So that makes me so happy. My dude wild. So this stir fry went into shoyman, which is sticky, savory rice. In the Philippines, we have suman, which is suman, which is a small sticky rice package wrapped in banana leaves. So that's more of a dessert situation. And I discovered a Vietnamese version that is savory. And this is so easy. So you can just put the sticky rice in the rice cooker, cook it as instructed, and then stir in any kind of stir fry. And that's pretty much a shoyman.
I will be doing this. This looks amazing.
I know. It was so hearty and one of the few things I could eat all day without getting sick of it. And another trick is putting a steamer basket when rice is cooking. If you're using a rice cooker, use a steamer basket in there to steam some eggs, because there's also just steam rising in there. Why not use it to cook other things? So these were
sometimes do that with like spinach or some other kind of green.
So these eggs were steamed for like 11 minutes and then shocked. So that's how I got that degree of yolk. Let's see. What else is happening? I bought a pack of hot dogs, and it's taking me so long to finish the whole pack of hot dogs. It's always such a slog for me because I have one person with a tiny appetite. Yes.
Love
Okay.
it.
These are mala kraut. So like Szechuan pepper in my pickled cabbage, and then I dressed it with some fresh celery leaf for some extra crunch. Those chips, these chips are not your typical flavor. Do you have any guesses what it is? Who am I?
Not your
What do I like the most? Who are we? What do we like the most?
Is it egg flavor?
Yes. It is
weird. Oh my god.
I know. Salted egg flavor Lay's chips. You can get them at I forget. It's like a Thai market in Ridgewood. I think it's Siam something. I'll have to share it later.
I was weirdly just there yesterday.
You were? Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
I was getting some Thai sausage, which is really amazing.
Oh man. Bacon Chin says, I stumbled upon a new chicken wing flavor the other day, deep fried with peanut butter and maple syrup side. Ooh, yeah. That sounds so good. And has roots in Southeast Asian cooking. Peanut curry is like a thing in savory cooking. So not far off. Pretty close. But yes, this is a very special tomato. This was grown indoors. My friends Sam, I know, it's large, right? My friends Sam and Zephyr have been trying to figure out how to grow more things in their apartment. Instead of just using the windowsill, they set up like plastic bins with like purple lights and like tracking the water intake and all that. So they basically built their own little vertical farm in their house in like a plastic bin, and I got to try one of the children.
She's gorgeous.
I know. This was such a juicy tomato. It was so great. So cool. I really couldn't believe it. And the best way I know how to treat a tomato is in a BLT.
So perfect, so simple.
Yeah, I'm using arugula here, a toasted bun, and then I used some of the mala seasoning in the mayo. So it's got like a Szechuan flavor. And my bacon is from Nuesqui's, which is like a Midwest company. I bought a bunch of bacon for my family over the holidays, and then for myself, obviously. But yeah, that's what's in that
sandwich. I love you, like a bacon subscription.
Right? That's what I thought. This also looks very simple. This is the close-up of the bacon, the Nuesqui's brand. But this is Cambodian scrambled eggs. So my friend Char has a pop-up called Krung Cambodia, and she sells pickled chili pickle that her mom makes, and it's incredible if you can get your hands on a jar. So I just soft scrambled some eggs and made a sando.
I've been following her on Instagram, and her food seems amazing.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff that I've never had before. And you know, Southeast Asian food gets lumped into very general categories and like a Pan-Asian identity, and I love seeing the nuance and niche ingredients in her cooking. It's very, very cool. I'll share her Instagram in the chat later so you can follow along.
Yeah, I also love seeing her do things with her mom. It's really cool.
Yeah, her mom grows all of the produce in South Carolina, so it's really cool to see somebody like making a Southeast Asian farm with all the ingredients we can't really find. So besides like cooking photos, I also welcome memes and like news items that we think are interesting, like not necessarily in the food world, but like things that we can definitely comment on. And so my friend Mike sent me Pablo Escobar of Eggs fights extradition to Brazil. So this criminal, Jeffrey Lendrum, is a smuggler, basically. He's been smuggling falcon eggs from Brazil to
Whoa.
Dubai. If you go to the article, if you find it later in The Guardian, they have this photo of him when they arrested. So these eggs are worth a lot of money, like falcon eggs. It's not to eat. People are trying to do falconry in Dubai for some reason. Hundreds and hundreds of
Okay.
thousands of dollars per egg. So he had like 14 eggs and he had wrapped like medical bandage, like in coils around his body so that he could keep incubating the eggs.
Oh my God.
I know. And
This is
so
bananas.
I retweeted it with a better headline, "Hatch me if you can."
Eh, Pablo Escobar of eggs. Amazing.
Yeah. If anyone in the chat has another headline that you would use besides Pablo Escobar of eggs, I think my friend Josh Quitner said Scarface. What was it? I feel like I have it here. Something. It was really funny. I'll retweet it later. But if you've got headlines in the chat, please let me know and I will read them. Amazing egg news today. This guy. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars for one egg to make a falcon. It's people in
Crazy.
Dubai have too much money.
Yes.
Kind of amazing. Oh, thank you, Chicken Handbag. Oh, different Falcons, Plains, Middle East. Oh, it's a different article, I think. My goodness. Okay, so my last photo here is a throwback to 2012. I used to have the reason why I have the name Randwiches is I used to deliver random sandwiches in New York, and people would tweet them or put them on Instagram as like my tip. And I love that time in my life. I want to do it again when things are easier and better, but this is just throwback: mango glazed ham, kale, cilantro, hummus, pickled peppers, dill mayo, and cheddar on a squishy bun.
Yum.
You can see that. Yeah.
That looks excellent.
I miss doing
I miss your random sandwiches.
I know. I love making random sandwiches. Here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we are back to just us two and I can catch up in our chat.
Oh, look. Now that I can see myself, I can see what my hair is doing. Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so that's what I've been up to this week and what people have been cooking in our community. So if you would like to be featured on the stream next week, please do tag me on Instagram or Twitter at Randwiches, or you can DM me. Either way, I will get them into the folder and show off your cooking skills. And it's okay if you have to take an L sometimes. I also fail at cooking. It's great. All right. So let's get to the main topic at hand with Simon. So, are you a person? This is both for Simon and for the chat. Do you like leftovers? How do we feel about leftovers,
I love
everyone?
I adore leftovers.
Yeah.
I, generally speaking, am the sort of person who loves kitchen challenges. So like, I like to open the fridge and be like, okay, what's in here? And then I like to figure out what to do with it. And so leftovers is really good for that. And so is just kind of like random ingredients, but like leftovers always has like a, you know, an extra challenge because it's like, it was once a complete thing and now you're trying to make it into a new thing. And so that I think adds some extra.
Totally. Yes. I love that extra. I mean, if you were a fan of this show, you know that I like cooking challenges and have spent some time doing like pilot TV shows where game shows will tell me a cooking concept, and I will test it out and play in the studio as if it's airing. And sometimes the ideas make it through and sometimes they don't. So leftovers is kind of like its own little game show. And I think that you and I in particular are stronger friends because of it.
Totally. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we are both very enthusiastic about this subject, and I feel like I have definitely texted you at like last minute random things and been like, what do I do with this? And
Yeah.
you always come through.
Yeah, so Alex in the chat has asked, have we seen the Leftovers show on Netflix? It's actually very cute and fun. Oh, I haven't. I haven't seen the Leftovers show. Do you know about this?
I I have never heard of this, but I am a terrible television watcher, so I'm probably the last to know about it.
Yeah, I guess you know
But I
what?
will now that you tell me, I'll watch it.
Yeah. And if you're a member of my Patreon in the chat, or if you want to join the Patreon, we have a monthly show where we watch TV together on Netflix, and I host it. It's really fun. Actually, February 5th is our next one. We're going to watch the last episode of Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat, and then Monday we're voting on like the next show. So maybe we'll put the leftovers thing in there. It's best leftovers ever. Cool. They set 3 people a task to cook a new meal with leftovers. Awesome. That sounds a lot like one of the pilots that I did. Yeah. Except mine was like vending machines, which is
Interesting.
much harder, I think.
Yes. So still possible, but
Yeah. So I have a big question. So what makes good leftovers? Anyone in the chat, if you have opinions about this too, we'll happily take them. But for you, Simon, like what makes a good leftover for you?
I mean, I think something that reheats well. Although, like, nothing that's too crazy soggy. Although, I mean, porridges and things like that are sort of by their nature soggy are great leftovers. But
Naturally soggy.
I'm trying to think. Um,
Well, we have a suggestion here in the chat.
oh, the other thing is that like,
Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
feel like sometimes like if you like put lettuce in your burrito, that sort of disqualifies it as a leftover because then you have to like pick out the lettuce in order to like reheat the burrito. But it's doable, and I've done it. But I would say skip the lettuce if you're going to need to reuse your burrito.
I have definitely done a lot of meticulous surgery on leftovers to like pick out those wilty things. But it's time consuming because the concept of a good leftover dish is that it's quick. Like it's the next day. It's like you should be able to just heat it quickly.
I think some salads are bad, but some salads, like if you use a more structured green, you can do leftover salad. Like kale salad is a good leftover, but like a more delicate lettuce makes a crappy leftover.
Yeah, anything cabbage based, kale based, those will last another day, which is great. Donut Shoes has a comment here. Baked potatoes are an incredible leftover canvas. I agree. That
Yes,
and
agree.
I'm a fan
I think
of
for me,
the boat. Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. Just put anything on that.
Yeah.
I like to have like sort of like a set of things that are always around that I can use for in case of leftovers. Like
I love that break in case of leftover.
Yeah, it's nice to have like some fresh herbs in the fridge and a couple of types of tortillas, and it's nice to have a big thing of like cooked rice in the fridge so you can make fried rice at the drop of a hat. So you never know when you're going to need some. Things like that, things that are kind of like leftovers ready. And I have my kid is 5, and so he is going through a phase where he likes things one minute and doesn't like them the next minute, and he's like weirdly picky. But I have discovered that if I make fried rice for myself, it can be spicy, it can be like things he hates. But if I make it for myself and I sit down next to him and start to eat it, he will ask for a bite and eat the whole thing. That's like the one sure way to get him to eat anything.
That's hilarious.
So I do that a lot.
That's really funny. I love that. And I like the idea of having like leftovers ready kind of pantry or shelf in your fridge. Like for me, I have always bunches of pickles going all at once. Like, so I have various kimchis, various things that can be chopped and put on rice. And significantly, the thing that we do the most, I think, is putting eggs on things.
Yes.
And that's kind of
before we get to the eggs, I will also note that I learned from you having some kind of crunchy condiment whether it's like toasted seeds or crushed up peanuts or you know, spices and stuff, like having that is and also having like various pestos and dressings, like those are really helpful.
Yeah, I'm such a fan of the crunchies, and that is why I keep the dregs of all of the potato chip bags. Like it's
Smart.
embarrassing how many coils of like the bottoms of chip bags I have, but they're there specifically so that I can put them over like savory oats or like on my hot dog
Yeah.
or in a sandwich. Like I always need a crunchy. And if not that, I have like a big thing of peanuts. I have deep fried garlic, like a huge thing of like crispy shallots.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Good.
yeah, it's really fun. Oh,
And when in doubt,
we've got a lot of activity here in the chat. Chicken Handbag says we make a roast chicken every week. What we don't eat, we turn into a chicken curry, and then we boil the bones and extras for stock. All really great ideas. I think we all should get in the habit of using all of the ingredients to their fullest potential, and that's a great workflow you have there. Alex asks, "Have you seen Chef in My
totally.
Kitchen?" I have not seen Chef in My Kitchen. It's a Korean cooking show where 8 chefs tackle cooking 2 celebrities a dish from their fridge and they bring into the studio. It's really fun. Oh, wow. Oh, I love that. Donut Shoes says my go-to leftovers recipe is usually some kind of big breakfast hash, A plus, which eventually
Nice.
usually ends up in a burrito.
Perfect.
That's also a good workflow. Hash and then burrito. I also do that.
Yes.
That's great.
Or a crunch wrap.
But or Crunchwrap. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I'm gonna share my screen again. You did send me some photos here
I
that
did.
we can talk about. Oops, I lost my folder. Look at my lovely background by Hexiosis.
It's gorgeous. I love it.
Okay. Sorry, I will be more technically savvy about this in the future, but for now, we're
You're
just
perfect.
dealing with my shared screen. So what's happening here in this photo?
That is this is also an easy leftovers thing. That is a bunch of like random leftover stuff with cheese and an egg baked in a tiny skillet.
Yeah.
So just baked eggs and frittatas are also another good way to sort of just toss in a bunch of already cooked stuff.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I also think this is called shirred, Shirred, like baked eggs
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
shirred eggs. Um, but yeah, putting eggs in things, it's a lifestyle.
It is.
And then what is this situation?
That is a soup. I don't remember what's going on here.
We can pick out some things here. You got like maybe some white beans, definitely some greens.
Yeah, it looks like white beans, collard greens, maybe some kind of ham hock or sausage, and I think that the broth was a like a jalapeno-y tinted chicken stock that I made.
Yum.
A little bit of lime in it.
This looks
I
great.
can't remember why I sent this to you because it is not a leftover, but it was hella good.
It looks good. I mean, this show is all about like just cooking in general, so
I
I'm
think I was
happy.
just looking for food photos, which weirdly I cook constantly, but I don't take that many food photos. So I was trying to find like presentable photos to share with you.
Is this on the ground?
Yeah,
I also do that. If like I have particularly
it
good
was
light one day, I'll just
yeah,
sit outside and
the
put the
light,
phone on the
was nice right there. So
ground. Our photography secrets. That's been on the ground. Okay. So those are your photos you sent me. Let's see here. Someone said Hakuna Frittata.
indeed.
Means no worries for your leftovers. What other questions do you guys have in the chat for us about leftovers? We love them so much that Thanksgiving, I would say, is probably the ultimate leftover holiday for us. And when we could gather, we liked doing this thing called the leftover specials. Like, Simon, where did that come from?
Um, oh, I remember. Julia Sherman from Salad for President. was doing something at, I forget the name of the space in Long Island City.
Oh, Flex Factory.
Yeah. And wanted to sort of do a collaborative like potluck style thing. And so we decided to do leftover special, which was to have people bring in their Thanksgiving leftovers. And so that was the first one. And then we did a couple more, and they're super fun. Just
Yeah.
like have people kind of like create their own new dishes from Thanksgiving stuff. And it was super like, did you make a donut? Do I recall?
Yeah. We photographed all the dishes that people made out of all the communal leftovers. And so I did like somebody brought a lot of dessert. Like, so there were donuts and Mississippi mud, which is like a kind of like a fudgy dessert thing. And yeah, so I did like a donut sandwich with blue cheese and Mississippi
I
mud.
feel like there was pork in it. Or no, maybe just like there was like that turkey that you made that was delightful.
Oh yeah, I don't remember if it was
Really.
that year that I did pastrami turkey, maybe
No, it was
the Dorito turkey.
that is like, to me, like that's the most amazing thing ever. And every time I think about it, I just get so excited. No, it was like you took some turkey and like shredded it, and it was like maybe it was like a Filipino thing.
Yeah, I made turkey paksiw.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, yeah. So turkey paksiw, or paksiw in general, is stewing in vinegar. And so you make a braising sauce out of the turkey gravy by adding a little bit of vinegar and brown sugar. And so I pulled all the turkey and then braised all of it and then brought it, and we made sliders with like green tomato pickles. It was so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have a question from the chat from Seven Bean Salad. What's your rule of thumb for how long to keep leftovers in the fridge?
Good question.
Me,
Isn't it kind of like 4-ish days for meat stuff? Like 4 days, maybe 5 days tops.
yeah. Mostly it's trust your nose.
Yeah.
Label your dates on everything. I work in the restaurant industry, and I'm used to labeling everything. Like I have a Sharpie and I have kitchen tape that I label everything with.
Yeah.
So I know
Same.
when it came into my fridge and when it needs to leave. I'm really bad about the when it needs to leave part.
Yeah. I do the same thing. It's really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think 3-4 days is generally tops if you haven't gotten to it quickly. But the secret for me, because I'm not a big eater, is when I'm cooking, I already put half of it in the freezer. Like, because I know I'm not going to get to it. And so I don't deal with that inventory problem of having it or worrying that if it went bad in the fridge.
Yeah, I kind of think like freeze some for later, make a couple servings in the fridge, maybe give one to my sister or something, and then keep one for myself. So I try to like portion it out a bit so it's not like giant mystery leftover.
Yeah, I have a lot of those actually. I don't know what this is. Let's thaw it out and see. My friend Emily that you've met knows this about me. Like we found some like roti dough that we had from a wedding, and I was like, let's have roti.
Awesome. I love that.
Oh, thank you
That
for
reminds me that I have.
following Radio Dario. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
Oh, that's okay. I was just thinking that I think I have some like buckwheat and other kinds of flour tortilla dough in my freezer, so maybe I'll get that out.
Yeah. Let's defrost our dough. We got a question here from Donut Shoes. Do you handle leftovers from homemade meals differently than takeout leftovers? I find that I'm more ready to transform my homemade leftovers, whereas takeout I'll just reheat. Interesting.
I think it depends. I definitely use takeout leftovers all the time to do new things, but I think if it's like a curry, if it's like something that's like a whole thing, it's harder to repurpose. But if it's like a meat or a veggie or something that's a little bit more like a single ingredient, it's easier to add it to other things.
Yeah, if it's easy to subdivide the components, then I'm able to play with it more. Like a trick that I've been doing lately is I'll make a lot of pasta that I know that I want to eat for the rest of the week. And I'll separate some of the cooking water in another container. I'll show you actually, I have a show and tell. Um, so I have the noodle in the bottom, but then this top one that's nested in it is the pasta water that I'm going to use for my dinner. So like I can put it in
Nice.
my sauce. So you can nest things like
I
that.
love that.
I mean, yeah, if
Dude,
you knock it over, it's gonna spill, but just gotta be careful.
taking notes.
uh, I'm gonna be making a version of pasta al limone tonight, using calamansi instead, which is fun.
I know, come-
Is that my friend?
Yeah, come say hi.
Oh, it's my friend. Hi,
Say
Wild.
hi to Jen.
You're on the camera. Hi, everybody. This is
You see yourself?
Wild. This is my friend. You've got a nice red coat on, buddy. Is it?
That's because I was outside.
Oh, yeah. Is it really
Good night, Boo.
cold?
I'll come say good night to you in a minute.
Okay, bye, Wild.
So Jen just poked her head in here to say pulled pork burritos, and then she left.
Like you're having that for dinner? Is that what's happening?
Apparently.
Oh, great.
I'm really happy about it.
I look forward to you enjoying your dinner tonight. That's amazing. Does anyone else have any leftover questions for us in the chat? I have been called leftover queen. Like I try to stretch things as far and as long as possible. Like one of the craziest things that I've done is I went to a pizza place and got I ordered too much food, which is what I do all the time. I got vodka sauce fries. And
What?
yes, so this pizza place has a pasta menu, but then they also put the pasta sauces on French fries like they're nachos. So this place is unfortunately
That's
closed.
banana.
It's closed now. But it was vodka sauce disco fries, basically. And I could only eat like two fries. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. And so the next day, it's all congealed. It's like one unit. What I did was I put it in the food processor and made a potato pancake batter by adding more flour and milk. And it had enough potato starch in it to bind, so I didn't need any egg. So I made like stacks of silver dollar pancakes from it. It's kind of like, it blew my mind that it worked.
That is gorgeous. That reminds me of, I have these friends that have a little back and forth chat where that's called, but can I waffle it? And
Yes.
they just try to figure out anything that they can do, in waffle form.
Yeah, I've been enjoying tater tot waffles. You just
that's
put
good.
the frozen ones in there and then just like close it and it presses together in this beautiful like potato waffle thing.
Yeah, Thanksgiving stuffing makes good waffles too.
Ooh, I haven't tried that. That sounds so good. Let's see. We have a question here from Bacon Chin. What's the most ideal thing you make with leftovers, excluding the chicken? Oh, are you talking about? Oh, a different thing earlier. Sorry. All you've been making recently is soups or curry, and that's about it. Yeah. What are other leftover formats that we haven't talked about yet? So we talked about like
Nachos.
What'd you say?
Nachos.
Nachos. That is probably my most favorite method. You can still put an egg on it because I've done breakfast nachos with an egg on it. Yeah, lots of chopped toppings, hot sauce, salsa, like whatever, what have you. Like I've been trying to like blow people's minds about nachos. Like it doesn't have to be just like the Mexican flavor palette. It can be
Indian nachos are
so
excellent.
many things. Yes, Indian nachos. Like I've definitely done a chicken tikka nacho with like naan, like crisping up the naan in the chips. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's see.
I think
What
what
else?
else?
Hmm.
I think salad, especially if you have like a meat left over, to just chop it up and add it to a salad with like slight, like softish, in between soft and hard boiled eggs in there, and various pickled things. I feel like that's a good one.
Yeah, I when I was working a lot of events, I would always have a ton of leftover cheese and like charcuterie, and so I would have like a Lunchables for myself the next day, like an adult Lunchables, or
I
like
love that.
or what a restaurant would call a plowman's lunch. Goodness.
Oh, also, little like hand pies are good for leftovers.
Yes, hand
You
pie.
make those a lot.
Yeah, I did a couple of Thanksgiving hand pies before. Yeah, because the gravy can work as a good like filling.
Nice.
Uh
Yeah.
okay, we've got more questions here from people. Donut Shoes says, "How do you juggle the feeling of being overrun with leftovers and the desire to cook new meals?" Oh my gosh, the struggle.
It's real.
If you could see my to-do list when it comes to cooking, I always have to remember that I paid for something and it's already made and I should eat that first. And then I can cook the new thing. But it's tough. Like sometimes I just want the new thing and I make more leftovers for myself.
I feel as though sometimes you just got to do the heart wants what the heart wants, So
Yes.
sometimes you just got to
Sometimes you just
just do
gotta
what you want.
eat the thing. Yeah. Yeah, but I have I keep a checklist that I revisit every week of all the dishes that I do want to make sometime, and I'll prioritize like what's realistic, what do I have on
Yeah,
hand, and then what can I put on my shopping list if I am going
nice.
to do that. So I'm very
What I
regimented about it. Go
That's good.
ahead.
What I do is like after everybody goes to bed, I like hang out in the kitchen and I just kind of like go through the fridge. It's like a moment to relax, like
I
by
love that.
myself. And so I'll look through the fridge, look through the freezer, look through the cupboards, and just kind of get a sense of what's in my house. And then from there, it's kind of the same thing. It's like I don't make lists so much, but I just kind of acquaint myself with my stuff like
Yeah,
every other
you have a
5%.
mental inventory, which is
Yeah.
always
So if
good.
there's like a bunch of stuff that's about to go bad, I'll like make a pesto out
There
of
you
it,
go.
whatever. Like I try to like cull things so I'm not being so wasteful.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. This is a great habit I think we all should get into. Not necessarily after everyone's gone to bed, but if you've got a busy household, then sure. Wait till everybody's gone to bed. But it's just a great practice in general to make sure you know everything that's in your fridge, so that you can rotate things in and out and like use up things that are gonna go bad sooner. But great question, Donut Shoes. Like that is something I think about a lot. Ooh, Alex has made KFC chicken rice before. You put the chicken into the rice
Dude,
cooker with a chicken stock cube, super intense and amazing. That is like umami on top of umami, and I love it. These are good ideas, Alex. Here, we've got a question from Radio Dario. Stock. How do you handle and store stock? Do you freeze it? Any tips on that? What you got, Simon?
I freeze it in gallon size uh is it like plastic bags.
Oh, wow.
And so then they're kind of just these flat like slabs in my freezer. Sometimes I'll make smaller ones if I'm going to be doing smaller things. I usually I mix stock a lot, so I usually have like something in the fridge and then like a store of different things in the freezer.
I like the idea of the plastic because it stacks flat. I do a lot of the the quart containers that you would get from like
Yeah.
takeout places. Like I have bulk of that because I make a lot of food myself. But I tend not to freeze mine because I'm gonna use it so soon. My freezer is also woefully full.
Yeah.
I need to clear most of my freezer so that I can have a little bit better air circulation so things freeze evenly. Uh,
Yeah.
but stock, just general stock advice, not stonks. We're not talking about the stock market. We're talking about stock broth situation. And I know that's part of the news right now. But I like to roast my bones before I make any kind of stock, either in the slow cooker or on the stovetop. That adds another dimension of flavor. Make sure that you're seasoning it with your aromatics. You can play with like aromatics. So like traditionally there's like bay leaf, rosemary, thyme, sage, that kind of stuff. But you can go in other directions too. You can think of other cultures, like a Southeast Asian flavor would be ginger, turmeric, and some galangal or scallion. So it's super
Or like
fun.
a star anise and like a ginger,
Oh
things like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I love that. And for just a general rule when you're making any stock, this comes from like French cooking education, is meats need around 4 hours, and they can go a little bit longer, especially if there's bigger bones, like a shin or like open marrow bones. But vegetables don't necessarily need that long. They can usually max out and mush up around 2 hours. You don't want the vegetables to disintegrate too much because you're going to end up with a very, very cloudy broth that will have sediment that can make it go bad sooner. So make sure that you're stopping your vegetable broth within that 2 hour mark. But great question, Radio Dario. Thank you for watching. Glad to have you here. We have a comment from Robert. There's some kind of Nirvana level leftovers where you cook a little bit new every day, which magically combines with last night's leftovers. Absolutely. I love that feeling. Nirvana level leftovers. Welcome back, Schmaz. Great to see you. We talked about your cooking adventures earlier with your chocolate mousse and your kimbap. They all look very lovely. You were making so much kimbap. That's like a lot for a household.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looked really good. Bacon Chin, thank you for hanging out. Nice to meet you. Hopefully see you next time. My goodness. I want to check the time here. We are at 6 o'clock. If anyone has any more last minute leftover questions for Simon and I, we will answer them. But I want to tell you about the next segment. Or Simon, do you have anything, any wisdom about leftovers in general for folks out there?
I mean, I'd say just have fun, and like if you fuck it up, whatever, who cares? Then just eat scrambled eggs for dinner.
There you go.
So like just give yourself the space to like try things.
Yeah, I think that's the general philosophy of this stream is we're all welcome in the kitchen and you can do it. Don't tell yourself that you can't before you even start it. So yeah, please allow yourself some grace too, because of just how stressful everything else is in the world. It is really hard to do things right now, and so hopefully cooking is not one of those things that you're tired of. But if you are, it's all right. Order some stuff if you need to. That's kind of what I did for the holidays, like I usually love going all out on the holidays, but because I'm by myself, like I allowed myself to go get a pizza.
Good for you.
Yeah. So if you have any last minute questions, please put them in the chat, and I'm going to tell you about our next segment. So if you're new to this, we like to pretend that we're on that show Chopped. So if you don't know this TV show, there's a basket with 4 mystery ingredients in it, and chefs have to use them to make a dish. So in our case, you, the chat, will tell us what's in the basket. So shout out an ingredient for us to put in this basket. The first 4 will be the ones that we used, and maybe make one of them leftovers of something. Just so you know, there are never any wrong answers here. The purpose of this exercise is to think about how far our ingredients can go and maybe inspire your next meal. I will go through each of the ingredients individually so that everyone knows, what we're working with. But feel free to tell us how you'd combine 2, 3, or all 4 of the ingredients. Imagine that you have your basic pantry of like flour, butter, all the things that you would need, all the tools and time that you need. So it's not like a game show where you have like 5 seconds to think of something. Take your time. Even if you don't think of an answer now, you can still tweet it to me later or tell me about it next week. So no pressure. This is just all for fun. Okay, everybody. So some ingredients that we already got here. From Gwen, we've got lentils. Awesome. Great choice. Shma says leftover rotisserie chicken. Great, we can do that. Daikon radish. Okay, that's the third one. Oh, Alex, goodbye. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for rating the channel. Like, I really appreciate it. Okay, so we're working with, so far, lentils, leftover rotisserie chicken, and a daikon radish. If anyone has one more ingredient, please let us know in the chat. How do you feel about lentils, Simon?
I love lentils.
Yeah.
I feel as though I generally make kind of like Indian things with them. I mean, it depends on the kind of lentils, and so I tend towards curry type things or dal type things, and then I've made a lentil burger or like a French lentil salad with those little green ones, like chunks of lemon and cheese and stuff,
Yeah.
and lots of fresh herbs.
Lentils are, yeah, they're a very flexible pulse or legume. I've made falafel from them before.
Oh, nice. I've made like a vegan shepherd's pie with them before, in place
Ooh.
of the ground beef, which is really nice because it's got that same kind of texture.
Yeah, how do you like the doneness on them? Do you like them when they're still disparate, or do you like them a little more done? Like
It depends on what I'm doing with them, but I like them both ways, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like a dal, but then I also like a French lentil de poulet salad.
Yeah, same.
But that little the cook time of getting it between that is really razor thin. Like you can have your underdone lentil or just right, and then mush like very quickly.
I think yeah, I would love tips on that. I feel like that's like how to get that right, or like if there's any way to kind of like I don't know if you like run them under ice, like cold water afterwards, or any tips that anyone has. Yeah, any tips that anyone has about that, I would love to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on lentils as well, so if anyone does have any advice about lentils, we'd love to hear it. I mean, I've definitely cooked with them a lot. It's just like I don't have any consistent tips here.
Same.
Leftover rotisserie chicken, I feel like is very self-explanatory. It's already cooked, so we have to be careful not to overcook it or dry it out, unless you are making something that is purposefully dry, like sung, like chicken sung, like threads or jerky of some sort. Oh no, I have a recipe in my book, I think, for chicken dust. Adobo chicken dust.
I'm gonna go revisit that. Your book is right here, actually, on the shelf.
Oh, great. A rotisserie chicken, though, is already cooked, so you don't have to work so hard with it, but you have the whole carcass, so you can make stock from it, your own stock. We've got the skin, which can be crisped up. The meat can be treated a variety of ways. You just got to be careful not to overcook it. That's all.
Yeah, I love a fried chicken skin. That's an exciting thing.
Yes. I think around Bed-Stuy is where I could find the bagged chicken skin, like a snack, like it was Doritos. I forget the name of the brand. I think it's maybe Henry or Harry or something. It's a yellow bag.
Noted. I'm gonna go look for that.
I don't remember. But chicken skin, delicious. I wish there was more of it in the world that I could just eat like Doritos. Daikon radish, it's a large radish used in pickling, used in soups. It acts a lot like a potato. It's not.
I like braising it.
Yes, braising. It absorbs liquids very well. It can be grated. I love grating daikon radish and putting it in ponzu sauce as a dip.
Oh, so good, yeah.
For dumplings or tempura. It's not like a normal baby red radish that can be spicy. Daikon is much mellower and can get funky when you ferment it. Exactly, Donut Shoes, when you make it in kimchi.
So good.
But I think it's a welcome funky, it's like a umami pickly sort of situation. But
I'm fully into daikon radishes. They're so good.
Yeah, it will take on any treatment that you would give a potato. It's just not as starchy, so it's not going to be very sticky. So if you're going to grind it and use it in any kind of mixture or batter, you're going to need something to bind it. So either adding tapioca starch, potato starch, rice starch, any kind of binder, or an egg, you know. What else? Oh, with our final ingredient here is mustard greens. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, so good.
How do you like to make your mustard greens?
Like kind of like a longer cooking time, like you would like a braise of some sort is good. I've never made it this way myself, but there was a Chinese place by a different magazine I used to work at. They that had like a barbecue pork and mustard green thing that was so good.
Oh,
So that's favorite. Having them like a little bit in salads is really nice. I wonder what else.
I like
Pickled mustard green.
I love pickling them, and that's exactly what I was going to say. My favorite Taiwanese place is I think it's Taiwan Pork Chop House on Doyer Street in
Oh my
Taiwan.
God, I love that place.
Yeah, so like it's $5. You can get a pork chop, a deep fried pork chop, and they give you a bowl of rice with pickled mustard green on it, and it is incredible.
Yeah, the smashed cucumber salad there is amazing too. That place is so good.
I didn't have that. Oh my gosh. Highly recommend if you are in the what's it called? The Chinatown area. Yes, Schmas, that is correct. I did do a recipe for daikon brulee. So it is a daikon radish that is braised and has like a miso glaze with sesame, and then you can brulee, like put this sugary topping on top and brulee it, and it's gorgeous. It's amazing. Okay, so friends, how would you in the chat mash up any of these ingredients? You can use 2, 3, or all 4. We've got lentils, leftover rotisserie chicken, daikon radish, and mustard greens. Like, don't strain yourself. If you think it's impossible, we can talk through it. First thought, best thoughts. So go to town, friends. So what would I do here? Lentils, chicken, radish, mustard greens. Whenever I see daikon radish, I always want to make a soup. My friend, I used to live with a friend who would make this Chinese soup. It was so simple because the daikon radish gives off its own flavor in the broth. So it was daikon radish, star anise, ginger, and some just like broccoli, and it was so good to just have with rice. So I'm thinking like maybe a soup with the mustard greens and the daikon radish and then some shredded chicken. I don't have to put the lentils if I don't want to.
Yeah, I feel like the lentils might not go great with that because it's such a simple soup, but you don't want it to get too heavy. But I'm with that. That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
With like a really kind of like clear-ish broth, like not super intense.
Yeah. Okay, we've got some ideas coming in here. 7 Bean Salad says daikon and mustard green slaw. Yeah, what kind of dressing would you put on that? I would, I'd like to lean vinegary, I think, and citrusy maybe. That sounds really nice and crunchy. That would go well with some fried stuff. So what if we double fried the chicken in like some tapioca flour and like, you know, real crispy and chewy like a mochi donut. And then had a side of the slaw. It sounds good.
I need it.
Robert says, I feel like Marlo and Sons had some chicken and mustard green situation. Probably. Like, didn't they do the brick chicken there, I think?
Oh my God, that was good.
Yeah, it's really good. See, we have one here from Radio Dario. Do the Japanese 2-ingredient side dish with daikon and mustard greens. Yeah. What is the style of pickling called in Japan? It is called the I'm blanking on the name of it.
What's it called? I have a book of Japanese pickling techniques, which I think you borrowed at one point.
Oh, probably. I should give it back to you.
No, I have it. I have it back. You gave it back.
Oh, I did.
But I feel like we exchanged this at some point.
Also like banchan, like Korean pickles also work this way. You could do daikon version, you could have mustard green, we could do a little chicken salad with apple.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love the chicken salad. It's always a delight.
Oh, I also
I feel like
had,
lentils and mustard greens are nice, would be nice together as like a salad.
which one did you say? Lentils and
Lentils, a lentil salad with mustard greens. I feel like you
yeah.
could take that with like a Meyer lentil direction.
Yeah, that sounds so good. Yeah, we've been leaving the lentils out. I'm very sorry, but I got stuck on banchan.
I mean, it's a decent place to be stuck, I feel.
I know. I want to be stuck. I want to be stuck there. Oh, yeah. So we have Gwem says mustard greens and lentils may make a good salad. Yes. Donut Shoe says my first thought is a soup and salad, cream chicken and lentil soup. Okay, with fresh mustard greens and daikon salad. Yeah, sounds good. Schmas here. I definitely go with the dal cooked in chicken broth. Don't have a ton of experience with it, but maybe like chicken fat chunk with mustard seeds and pickled mustard greens daikon to cut through the richness.
Nice.
Oh my god, dude. Are you familiar with what chonk is? A chonk, CHHONK.
No, tell me.
Priya Krishna wrote a really wonderful article about it in the New Yorker. It's basically ghee heated up, and then you pop a bunch of mustard seeds and cumin in it to like toast the herbs, and then you can do curry leaves in it too, and then you can pour that to finish dishes. So like if you have your dal, you can finish it with chonk or anything really. Nice. So I spent a good amount of time over the summer having feta cheese and chunk.
That's delightful. I think I've done things like that, but didn't know that there was a term. So yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. Oh, sukemono. That's right. That's the name of the pickling. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. So good. Oh, good night, Radio Dario. Nice to meet you. Hopefully see you next time. People are hopping off because I think it's late for them in the Europe place. Oh, another idea here from Donut Shoes. If they're the broadleaf variety, stuffed mustard green leaves with chicken, lentil, daikon, and a citrusy sauce. I'm drooling.
Sexy.
I'm drooling. That's a sexy ass idea. I love that. If you're in the chat and you're thinking like, I don't have any good ideas, you probably do. Think about it this way. What's something you already know how to make that is on autopilot? Like a sandwich or a salad or a soup, like something that you know really well. Like what is something that you know how to make? How would you swap in one or two of the ingredients? And that will be new to the rest of us. So I hope that helps all of you think about this exercise in a different way. So there's no pressure to like, show stop, whatever. But all ideas are great ideas here when it comes to food, as long as we are respectful to the people who have these ideas. But yeah, last call for ideas. How would you mash up lentils, a rotisserie chicken from the store, a daikon radish, and some mustard greens? Thinking we can make daikon radish noodles by using a vegetable peeler. We could make that sort of like a vegan pasta. We can make a lentil bolognese by cooking them for a long time. I probably make some chicken stock to make those lentils. And then finish it with like crisped, like roasted mustard greens. That sounds really fun. Okay, Shma says, I made a dosa for the first time this year, stuffed with chicken and veg. So good. So yeah, isn't dosa made out of lentil flour or a lentil batter? Is that right? I think it is. It's like fermented for like a day, I think. I actually haven't made it myself. So I feel like this is gonna go
haven't
in my
touched it, but
to-do list.
my mom invited me over next week to have dosa that she's making, so I will report back.
Oh, please report back on Sparrow dosas. That will be so good.
Will do.
Um, dosa with the shredded chicken. Easy, 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 easy. Oh, true. This is good advice from Schmas. If you're nervous about fermenting anything, it's a perfect start. Yeah, I agree. I've gotten into fermenting like mangoes until they get really buzzy and burn your tongue a little bit, but I love it.
Into it. Yeah, I've been fermenting a lot this year too, and it's you can really pretty much tell when something goes terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's either by smell or by sight, or your tongue starts to swell up.
Yeah, and
And
then
I hope that never happens to any of you.
Yeah.
Oh man, you've been accidentally fermenting things. Oh no. Oh no.
oh dear.
Be careful, everybody. But if you actually end up with wine, then great. Or vinegar, you know. Well, friends, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks so much for participating in our exercise. I love it. It's it really makes my brain buzz in a good way. So if you have more ideas, if you couldn't think of anything right now this moment, like please feel free to tell me next time on the stream, or tweet it, or Instagram me anytime. I'm happy to talk about food and answer your questions. But on our way out, I would love to Simon, do you have anything to say to our friends out here, just generally about cooking, or how to get in touch, or how to follow you? What's going on?
I don't know if I have anything to say about cooking except for have fun. Don't be afraid to try new things. And feel free to drop by, put an egg on it at various internet places and say hello.
Yeah, I'll put the link right now. Egg.
Yeah, chances are it'll be me answering any DMs or whatever. So feel free to come say hi. And I don't know, it was really nice to meet you all.
Yeah. We are currently working on another issue, is that right? And
Yeah.
are we aiming for a particular time? And it's okay if we don't have a time that we know that it's coming out.
I mean, in theory, it's almost done. So in theory, any minute now, but I don't actually know.
Okay, well, the world knows now that we have something in the pipeline that we will tell them about eventually.
Yeah.
Awesome.
More on that soon. We also have more hats and more other stuff coming. So
I love my hat. Actually, I'll show you everybody. I got my hat here. It's quickly become my outdoor cooking hat, and I take it.
It's the best hat. I love it.
Oh, I have a ponytail.
I wear mine all the time.
Yeah, this is my hat. I don't have it on fully, but I have a ponytail. But I love this hat. It's our hat. There's only a few of these left, right? I think
there are none left, but I just ordered more.
Oh, you just got it. Got it.
There are shirts, but the hat is will be on its way soon.
Cool. So I put the link to our magazine in the chat, so you can come check it out and see our shop. We've got lots of great things on the website, like where you can buy the magazine. It's international, so we might actually carry it in a city near you. And yeah, put an egg on it on Instagram and I think Facebook, mostly Instagram, right?
Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram. Cool. And just for me on the way out, I've got lots of stuff on Patreon. I had double recipes today for shoyman, that savory sticky rice, and stir-fried peanuts. So if you'd like compendium of recipes, there are over 100 of them in there. It's $2 a month on Patreon, or less, or it's $22 for the whole year. There's a little bit of a discount there. You can check the links here below the video. We have a Netflix party coming up February 5th. We will be finishing Salt, Acid, Fat, Heat, and then on Monday we're voting on the next show. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, what else? So next week, I'm excited to tell you that I have another guest lined up. It will be my friend Jessica Joan, who will be talking to us about vegan baking. So
Cool.
I hope you join us next week again, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern here on Attack the Pantry. So thank you, Simon, for being here with me. Thank you, chat, for hanging out and learning with us. But good evening, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Goodbye.
Bye.